According to the police report, Incognito went to the funeral home after his father died. Employees said they started talking about arrangements for the body, and Incognito told them he wanted his dad's head cut off for research purposes. That's when Incognito allegedly got violent, walking around the funeral home and throwing things, punching caskets. He allegedly picked up an urn and slammed it down on another casket. One employee told the cops he thought Incognito was going to kill him. According to the police report, Incognito said he had a truck full of guns, made a finger gun gesture, and left. Two employees ran down to the room where they prepped the bodies because it was a secured room, but they left when they realized there were still other employees in the building. When the cops arrived a few minutes later, they arrested Incognito and searched his truck. They found 3 rifles, 2 handguns, and a silencer. Officers said he was incoherent, unable to maintain a coherent thought, talking about guns and homeopathic medicine. He was booked for threatening and disorderly conduct. William Pitts, 12 News.